What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. My name is Caesar, and today what I'm going to do is introduce you to Kayla. Kayla is a 2012 Ninja 650. I'm going to tell you why I chose it as my first bike, why I haven't moved up yet, and why I think everybody should start on a bike like this. Stay tuned. What I'm gonna do, take this baby out. So 2012 Ninja 650. This is the non-ABS model. It's been my first and only bike. For anyone who doesn't know, I think this model came with like 70 horsepower, something like that, 70, 72, like probably like 45 foot of torque or something like that. But yeah, my first and only bike. Why did I choose this as my first bike? At the time that I got my license, it was like around lockdown time, if you know what I mean. And I was getting bored sitting in the house. So I signed up for like a MSF course just to, you know, go out and do something, because I got tired of being locked down. The bike that we learned on, the bike that we took our test on the MSF course and stuff like that, was like a Honda Rebel, and I didn't like how that felt. I knew I wanted something a little sporty looking, and so I chose this 650. Things I like about the bike: I like the power delivery. It's not too much. I mean, it's plenty fast. It's fast enough where I don't have to just, like, to keep up with traffic, I don't have to just bang through the gears, because the torque range, like the power band on this thing, is like basically from the time you start to about 9,000 RPM, which is pretty high for this. I like the ease of use, because you don't have to rev it to the moon for you to feel the power to it, and it's like pretty forgiving. Even though this is the non-ABS model, it's like a pretty forgiving bike. So like if I get into like a situation and I panic and I hit the throttle a little too hard, it's not going to try to kill me. And that was the first thing that I was looking for in a bike. I didn't want something that was going to try to kill me. I like the power that it gives, because I believe that the power that it gives me is just enough for how I like to ride. I'm not going on the track. We don't have all these canyon carving roads here in Georgia. Not where I live at. So I didn't need something that was quote unquote flippable to get me through the curves as fast as I could get through there. I just need something comfortable to take me from point A to point B. A little bit of city riding, a little bit of urban riding, a little bit of on the interstate type riding. And I think this checks all the boxes. As far as what I need, it's enough power to get you out of trouble in traffic, and it's enough power to keep you in traffic. I didn't want anything too small, because I knew that I was going to take this like to trips to where I'm from in Carolina, so I was going to have to use the interstate and stuff like that, and I didn't want to get a bike that was too small to do that, where, like, not that a Ninja 400 can't go on the interstate, but if I'm going on the interstate for like an hour at like 80 miles an hour, that's basically the top of the RPMs for that. And I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to actually have that and, you know, kind of mess something up. I don't know what I'm saying right now, man. I'm just yapping. Yo, it's crazy. Once you got past the water, temperature went up like 15 degrees. It's hot as crap right now. All right, and let's see what I went through because I'm trying to think. Upright seating position, power, ease of use. Oh, biggest thing, insurance. Yo, insurance on this thing is pretty cheap. Maybe because of the 649cc engine, and they don't classify it as a super sport. They classify it as like a regular sport bike, so a sport touring bike. So yeah, insurance on this thing is like relatively cheap. I didn't know it was gonna be that cheap. I thought my insurance was gonna go sky high because I'm thinking sport bike. This is my first bike, so I'm thinking sport bike, and I'm thinking like the insurance was just gonna try to kill me, but they didn't. It was relatively pretty cheap. So that's another pro. All right, so I might end up at cycle gear because I think I need to get me some gloves. I want to get new gloves, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about now. All right, cons for this bike, things that I don't like. Things that I don't like about this bike personally is I really don't have cons for this bike. Only thing I don't like really is stuff that I did. So I put these sport bars on here, and I wish I didn't because that would have gave me another inch of like seating adjustment. And right now I'm leaned over a little bit, not too bad, but sometimes that messes with my back. So that's a personal thing I don't like, but I caused that, not the bike. So one of the things I would change is the bar. When you ask me about things I don't like, one thing I don't like, okay, this is an actual thing. This is not me. This is not something I caused, but this was the bike. So one of the things I don't like is because it's a parallel twin. This is something that you just can't get around. When you go on longer rides, anything for like an hour, like an hour and a half, 2-hour ride, you get a buzz in like the foot pegs, and that's just because of the 180-degree crank, like the 180-degree firing order of this parallel twin. So you get a buzz in the handlebar, a buzz throughout the handlebar, and a buzz in your foot peg. So that may cause your hand or your foot to go numb. I had it happen to me on a couple occasions because, you know, riding long distance. That's another reason why I'm thinking about upgrading this bike, not because of anything, not because I don't want the bike, but because I want to do longer distance travel. And with doing longer distance travel, I want to be as comfortable as I can when I do that. So that's one con to the bike. I think I'm gonna go to this gas station and then turn around. Then head to cycle gear because I want to get me a freaking. I want to get some gloves. This looks dope today. Everybody's out. It's like the first hot day of spring. Don't know who's you beeping at. So in 2025, would I recommend getting this bike? You know, it's twofold. It's like yes and no. Yes, because do I recommend starting on the Ninja 650, absolutely. Do I recommend this particular bike? It all depends on the rider. Because if it's something like, if I believe that as far as like a beginner bike, this is the best beginner bike hands down. Because like I said, I've had this bike for 5 years and I don't see myself getting rid of it. Now, that's not to say I won't get another bike as far as like a bigger bike, because yes, I will get a bigger bike because I want to go on longer trips. But for the type of riding, if you ride mostly in the city or on the weekend every now and then, if you just like exploring, like let's say you want to get on a bike and just ride for like 2 hours with no destination in mind, yes. But yeah, it's a good looking bike. It's confidence inspired. You can ride it to like an hour or two without getting tired. I believe I could, if it wasn't for the buzziness, I believe I would be able to be on this bike all day. And that's the only knock I have on it. I don't know if the new ones fixed that, but I know on this model, like, yeah, you feel the buzziness through the handlebar. So, yeah. But will I recommend it? Yes, I would. I would recommend this platform. Make sure, if you're a beginner, what I would do is I would recommend getting like ABS, traction control, because yeah, it may make the bike cost a little bit more, but it's just in case. It's like insurance, just in case, because that will help you in a pinch. So I would recommend those things. But other than that, I'm gonna just record. And see what goes on. We might end up at another spot. I might end up at Cycle Gear because I really need some gloves. I'm gonna see if they have some. Yeah, I'm gonna look for some new gloves. I like these, but I want some new ones. Baby at the car wash.